Beautiful blue sky on this Monday afternoon. Thanks so much for watching THV11. I'm Michael Aaron with meteorologist Nathan Scott over in the Weather Center. Thankful to see this site out of our, well, not that site, they went black there for a second, but thankful to see the sun and just some nice weather on this Monday, Nathan, after a rocky week last week.
Yeah, good afternoon, Michael. Welcome back to the studio. You did all of that covering of the winter weather in Pine Bluff. And we are done with the threat of winter weather for the next week, I would say at least. We've got some nice weather heading into the new work week. This morning, though, you had to contend with a few icy spots. Temperatures did drop down into the mid to low 20s across the region. But check it out here. Visible satellite shows nothing but blue sky all across the natural state. Now, there are still some pockets of snow where that white is in northeast Arkansas and northwest Arkansas, but temperatures have responded with all that sun, warming up to the upper 40s to lower 50s. Still a little bite to the air with that light breeze coming in from the north, about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Highs today, they'll top out into the upper 40s to lower 50s with lots of sun, and those temperatures will settle back down into the 30s going into tonight. But anywhere across the state, everybody will be warming up well above the freezing mark, so the thawing will continue. And here's your rain chances for the next 5 days. It is all quiet. I can relax this week, but I'll have those relaxing details and warmer temperatures coming up.
That's what we like to hear, Nathan. Thanks. The winter weather may be gone for now, but now we're dealing with the problems it left behind. That includes damage to our cars. RDOT reported more than 100 car accidents during the storm. That's just on the highways and interstates, so think about all the ones in the cities. Then there's the damage we can't always see. Little Rock mechanic shop Coleman & Sons Automotive says they're ready for the influx of calls this week. So how do you know if your car isn't acting right?
You want to pay attention to noise and also vibration in this type of weather. Your car will tell you exactly what's going on with it if it has a problem. Just listen to it. If it doesn't sound normal, be sure to get it checked out at your local shop.
AAA says it's important to find a quality full-service auto repair shop and have service work performed by professional technicians. This helps prevent breakdowns and often saves money in the long run. Something to know if you have to take your car in. Supply chain issues have not spared Coleman or any shop you may go to.
It's a waiting game, waiting on those parts to get here. And they're saying they're on boats, so we just kind of have to go with the flow of our suppliers to see if they can supply us as soon as they get supplied.
Yeah, another issue that always pops after winter weather, potholes. But they don't have to be a big problem with your help. RDOT has a special page on its iDrive Arkansas website to report a pothole. This is only for state-managed highways and interstates under RDOT's jurisdiction. On iDriveArkansas.com, just click on Report a Pothole under the Contact tab. That information goes to RDOT crews who can be dispatched to repair that problem spot. And then cars, they aren't the only things taking a hit from last week's winter storm. Truck drivers had to slow down during the icy conditions, and that means our supply chain did too. A lot of grocery stores didn't receive new shipments during the storm. Of course, the rush on several items and essentials before the storm, that didn't help either. So while the roads have cleared up a lot, we could still see the impact for a couple more days.
Some loads are less essential or less urgent than others, and so certainly safety is the top priority for the drivers and the carriers.
The supply chain is expected to catch up by later this week. If you're waiting for your packages to be delivered or you don't see the food you want in the store, be patient. A group will come together tonight to honor the life of a young man murdered in Little Rock last month. 21-year-old Jaden Shackelford was found dead near Merriweather Park back on January 8th. A vigil is set for 5:15 tonight at the park. THV11 will have a crew there. Little Rock police have not made an arrest in this case. If you know anything that could help investigators, call LRPD. Meanwhile, we're learning more about Little Rock's latest homicide, which happened Friday night. Police tell us 50-year-old Lawrence Parker was stabbed in the front yard of a home on Harrison Street near the intersection with 23rd. Investigators have not released any information about a possible suspect. We'll keep you updated. Minneapolis is in turmoil once again after another police killing. 22-year-old Amir Locke was shot and killed by a SWAT team during an early morning no-knock raid last Wednesday. The officers were not looking for him. Jerika Duncan has the latest on the investigation, including police video that shows the moments leading up to the shooting.
A weekend of anguish in Minneapolis as thousands of protesters marched through the city demanding justice for 22-year-old Amir Locke.
I would like to see the police officers held accountable, first and foremost.
We need to end police brutality and these no-knock warrants. Stop the lying.
Body cam video shows a Minneapolis SWAT team executing a no-knock warrant after using a key to enter the apartment. Multiple officers are heard shouting with their guns drawn. As Locke rises, a gun can be seen in his hand before Officer Mark Hanneman shoots him 3 times, killing him. It all happens in about 9 seconds. Locke's name was not on the warrant, and his family says he was licensed to carry the weapon and had no criminal record.
These no-knock warrants have deadly consequences for innocent black people.
Family attorney Ben Crump says no-knock warrants create unnecessary risks.
You could knock on the door and announce that, hey, the police, we have a search warrant, so people were in the middle of the night and while they're in slumber, hear somebody coming in their house and then feel like they were being burglarized.
So far, no charges have been filed in Locke's death, and Officer Hanneman is on administrative leave. In a statement, the Police Officers Association of Minnesota expressed sympathy for Locke's family and said no officer goes into a dangerous setting like this wanting to use a weapon. That decision was not taken lightly. Jerika Duncan, CBS News, New York.
Minneapolis has imposed a moratorium on no-knock warrants while the investigation plays out. Let's turn now to COVID-19 in Arkansas, where the latest numbers show recovery from last month's Omicron surge. 981 new cases were reported on Sunday. A few things to keep in mind with that. Numbers are always a little lower on Sundays, and testing was down this weekend due to the winter weather. Our active cases and hospitalizations continue to drop, so a promising sign there. Right now, 38,000 Arkansans are dealing with COVID-19. 1,500 of them are in the hospital. Unfortunately, though, our death toll is climbing following the surge. 38 more Arkansans have died from complications of COVID. That seems to be a trend the entire country is seeing right now. The coronavirus has now claimed more than 900,000 lives in the U.S. Members of Congress will hold a moment of silence this evening for the Americans whose lives have been lost to COVID-19. Daily deaths have jumped nearly 30% in the last 2 weeks, fueled by the Omicron variant. Hospital admissions have slowed. They're down 15% from a week ago, according to the CDC. Today is the last day of early voting on future recreation centers for the city of Conway. Residents will decide on a proposed community center and separate soccer complex. In total, the new projects would cost about $32 million, but taxes would not increase. Voters can fill out their ballots at the Faulkner County Courthouse. If you can't make it there today, Conway voters can still head to the polls on Election Day. That's tomorrow from 7:30 to 7:30. People who live in the city can vote on Election Day at the Conway Sports Center or the McGee Center. Tax season is in full swing, and there are claims that you can file for free. But is that true? We verify the facts after the break. Plus, they say money can't buy you love, but it can buy Valentine's Day gifts, and you're going to need some extra dough to afford them this year. We'll explain at 12:17. Nathan.
We are starting off the new work week with lots of sun. Still need the light coat or a jacket because temperatures are on the cool side, but I think you will be able to open the windows later this week. I'll let you know how warm it's going to get next.